Hey everybody, I'm Zach,
And I'm Jesse.
and you're watching In Depth.
Oh, now you know. Okay, so there's this guy, and he just put forward this stockholder proposal to get Elon to step down from basically being the head of Tesla.
Oh, you're talking about Jing Zhao, who owns 12 shares of Tesla stock.
Yeah, what? Who? How did he do that? What is he doing? How can you do that?
He's a Tesla shareholder.
What? Okay, but I mean, so am I. I'm not telling people what to do.
You can.
What do you mean?
You're a shareholder of the company, right?
Yeah,
That means you're a part owner of the company.
right.
And so Elon works for you.
Wait, I'm a part owner?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, what?
You're Elon's boss.
No, I've never talked to him.
Doesn't matter. You own shares in the company. You are therefore a part owner of the company. And so every year there's a shareholder meeting. You are invited to that meeting if you'd like to go.
Okay.
And at that meeting, Elon speaks to the shareholders. And he even has a period of time where there can be questions and answers. But anyway, at any publicly held company, shareholders can make proposals to the board of directors. And they put that out to the rest of the shareholders to vote on. So this year, Jing, who owns 12 shares, made a shareholder proposal. He doesn't like the fact that Elon is both the CEO and chairman of the board.
Okay.
He thinks that it should be two different people in that position. I think about 68% of publicly held companies have it the same way Tesla does, but he's made the same proposal to other companies like Apple. He's what's called an activist shareholder. That means he actively wants to change companies in a certain way. So he buys a few shares in each, and then he goes and tells them what he'd like.
Okay, so wait a minute, because I mean, if you can do something like this with Tesla, then you could do this with any company that's publicly
Yeah.
traded, right?
Yeah, and they do, and there are.
Okay, so then, I mean, if you are, let's say you're an investor and you have some shares of Ford or GM, or can
Well,
you...
let's show this. So, Brent and Bobby, this is some of my companies that I own stock in, and we're going to screenshot me voting on some how I vote. So basically, you can see there's the board of directors. You can vote for either the whole board or pick out certain members you don't want to vote for. In some cases, you can even write in names. And so you vote for the board. You usually vote for the accountants that you want to hire. And then there's shareholder proposals and other board proposals that you can vote on. Some companies have lots of them. Now, the sad thing is most people, first of all, don't do this. They forget that they can vote at all, and so they don't vote their shares.
Yeah.
Or a lot of people buy their shares through like mutual funds, and when you do that, you don't get to vote your shares. The mutual fund company gets to vote them for you.
Oh.
That's why I like to own my companies outside of mutual funds so that I can vote them myself.
And so how do you do a proposal?
So I would think you would contact the press person or the investor relations person at the company, ask them for the official paperwork for that company, and usually you just fill something out, send it in. You might talk to a board of directors first, a member of the board, and tell them your proposal so they could help you to craft it. But for most companies, just you can own one share usually, and you can write a proposal. Now, most times a board's going to, unless they think it's a great idea, they're probably going to say to vote against it. And what the board says, most shareholders do. So if a board recommends that you vote against, you're going to find that most people are going to vote against. But you get to write out a little explanation of why you think it's a good idea. And they have passed before. So,
Yep.
and you can lobby people and get them to vote your way. And look at this guy. He only owns 12 shares, and all the major press outlets picked him up.
Right. I mean, obviously, this is about Tesla, and Tesla is a hot topic. So, I mean, Tesla could be, putting in a new garden, and they would probably have a news story about it. Let's be honest.
Right.
But you could make a stink about any company that you own shares in. Be like, why aren't you reducing emissions, or why aren't you switching to renewable energy,
Or making more electric cars, Ford.
So, I mean, this is something that I don't think anyone knows. I don't think anyone I've ever heard of this or ever been taught this or learned it.
You're not taught this in school, right?
Right.
You're not taught about the American stock market is like the kind of the one of the pillars of our society, right? That you can buy stock in a company. I mean, we're a capitalistic society, yet no one's ever taught about this. So that's the sad part, is that people grow up and they go decades through their lives before realizing that they can do this at all. And then once they do realize they can buy stock, they're just thinking about profits. I'm a day trader. I'm going to buy and sell stock. They don't know that you're buying stock. You're an owner in a company. You can vote. That is the power here. For instance, Mark Zuckerberg owns 51% of Facebook. So don't even bother voting that, because you'll never outvote him.
Elon is... How much is he?
He owns 21.9% of Tesla.
Oh, okay.
So you could outvote Elon.
Right. But I mean, you'd need a whole bunch of people. You'd need more than 50% of the shareholder peoples. Well, that's cool.
It is cool. And
So-
I'm kind of urging people out there, like, don't just think this guy is special that he made a proposal. Anyone who owns shares in Tesla can make a proposal. Anyone can vote. And you can go to the meeting and talk to Elon. You can just walk up to the microphone with a question for the CEO of the company, who, again, works for you.
I think you had probably told me a little bit earlier on in my life that you could do something like this, but I think I forgot. No one else had ever told me. So, I mean,
Right.
it's fair that
I
forgot.
don't think they want you to know. A lot of people this week have written to me asking the same exact question. How come he got to, is he special? And it's like, they don't want you to know this, but if you're a shareholder, you can do it too.
If, we've inspired you and you're doing your own shareholder proposal, why don't you put them down below?
Yeah.
Maybe someone else is also a shareholder in that company and will vote for your proposal. So we hope that this was an informative episode of In Depth. I know we're not really covering a Tesla as much per se, but it's definitely something that would be interesting to look into. And yeah, let us know how it goes down in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Now you know.